B2B advertising, SEO, and paid ads together. Stop treating SEO and paid ads like rival kingdoms. Most B2B teams run SEO and paid ads as two separate programs with two separate scoreboards, then wonder why pipeline feels inconsistent. Buyers don't care how your budgets are organized. They search, click what looks credible, and keep moving until something matches their problem and timing. If we want predictable meetings, we have to run SEO and paid search as one search strategy that feeds sales, not as competing line items. Search is where modern B2B journeys begin. About 71% of buyers start their research with Google, and organic search drives roughly 76% of trackable B2B website traffic. That combination creates a simple reality. If you're not visible in both organic and paid, you're missing most of the buying journey before your SDRs ever get a chance to engage. Strong teams treat search visibility as table stakes, then build a system to convert that visibility into conversations. This article lays out a practical approach we use and recommend. Let SEO build compounding demand across problem and research intent. Let paid ads capture and accelerate high-intent moments, and then route those engaged accounts into a disciplined sales development process. That last step is the difference between nice traffic and booked meetings, especially if you're using a sales development agency, an outsourced sales team, or you're trying to hire SDRs quickly without sacrificing follow-up quality. Why search is the front door to your pipeline. Self-serve research is now the default. Around 75% of B2B buyers prefer to research tools on their own, and 57% report buying a tool in the last year without ever meeting with a vendor's sales team. That means your content, landing pages, and SERP presence are doing first-call work long before a rep gets involved. The implication is bigger than traffic. Search shapes what prospects believe is possible, what they think good looks like, and which vendors feel safe. When your brand consistently shows up for the pains you solve, you don't just get more clicks, you earn the right to be evaluated. When you don't, your SDRs start every conversation from behind, even if you're a great fit. This is also why search has to connect to your sales motion. Whether you run an in-house SDR pod or partner with a B2B sales agency, the handoff matters. The search term, the page visited, and the offer consumed should inform the first email, the first call, and the first follow-up. When marketing and sales share this context, outreach stops feeling random and starts feeling like a natural next step. SEO versus paid, different jobs, one unified search strategy. SEO is your compounding engine. It's how you own the problem space with guides, comparison pages, templates, and pillar content that keep working even when you're not actively spending. It also accelerates growth. Focusing on SEO is associated with 37% faster MQL growth than relying on paid ads alone, which is why it tends to become the backbone of sustainable demand. Paid search is your speed and control lever. In B2B, the math gets expensive fast. Average Google Ads CPCs hover around $3.33 with roughly a 3.04% conversion rate, so you can't afford to explore forever with broad targeting. Paid works best when it's focused on bottom-of-funnel intent, pricing, integrations, alternatives, and when the sales follow-up is tight enough to capture the moment. Instead of arguing about which channel is better, assign roles by intent and time horizon. The cleanest way to align teams is to agree on a single funnel map and decide where organic should dominate, where paid should accelerate, and how both routes deliver context to your SDR agency or internal team. To make the split concrete, here's a practical comparison we use when planning budgets and pages. How to build a single search plan that sales can actually use. Start with intent buckets, not channels. Map your target queries into research intent, problems, how-to, frameworks, evaluation intent, comparisons, best, reviews, and decision intent, pricing, implementation, integrations, alternatives. Then decide the role. We typically let SEO own the broad research surface area, while paid concentrates budget on decision intent and the exact audiences you want to accelerate. Next, fix the landing experience. One of the most common mistakes is sending all traffic, organic and paid, to a generic demo page with no context, which usually depresses conversion rates and forces SDRs to guess why someone showed up. Build intent-specific landing pages, even if they share the same design system, so the message matches the keyword, and pass that context into your CRM so your follow-up feels informed rather than cold. Finally, turn paid into a fast feedback lab for SEO. Use ads to test which pains, offers, and positioning produce real opportunities, then double down with long-form SEO content and pillar pages around those proven themes. Pull sales into the loop quarterly. Your cold callers and account execs hear the exact phrases buyers use, and that language should show up in your ad copy and your organic pages. Search isn't two channels, it's one buyer journey, and the teams who win are the ones who connect visibility to follow-up. Accounts retargeting is where paid starts to behave like a multiplier instead of a faucet. About 52% of B2B marketers use retargeting as a core nurture tool, and B2B retargeting can deliver around 147% higher conversion rates than B2C. The reason is simple. Buying committees take time, and repeated exposure to proof reduces perceived risk. The mistake is running generic remarketing ads and hoping they warm up the market. Instead, design audiences around the same stages your sales development agency or internal SDRs uses. Visitors to pricing get ROI and implementation proof. Visitors to comparison pages get competitive differentiators, and repeat visitors get a direct book a meeting offer. When retargeting mirrors your sales motion, it reinforces the exact narrative your team will use on calls and in email. This is also where multi-touch outreach matters. If your team is working with a cold email agency, an outbound sales agency, or a cold calling agency, share the retargeting message map so emails and call talk tracks echo the ads prospects are seeing. Consistency across ads, content, and SDR follow-up is what turns brand familiarity into a scheduled meeting. The most expensive mistake is treating SEO and paid as competing budgets instead of complementary roles. When teams fight, you end up with either a slow-burn SEO plan that never gets enough momentum or a paid program that looks busy but gets crushed by rising costs. Fix it by committing to shared KPIs, pipeline, opportunities, and revenue, so both teams are accountable to the same outcome. The next mistake is stuffing paid campaigns with broad, top-of-funnel keywords. In B2B, those clicks can be plentiful but rarely sales-ready, which bloats CPL and floods SDRs with low-intent leads. A better pattern is to let SEO handle broad education while paid focuses on high-intent terms and retargeting. Then use negative keywords and tighter match types to keep spend aligned with buying signals. A third mistake is leaving search insights out of outbound sequences. When SDRs don't know what pages a prospect visited or which ads they clicked, every touch feels like a reset and meeting rates suffer. Pipe search and content engagement into your CRM, train your SDRs to reference the exact topic a prospect engaged with, and treat that insight as a first-class input to your sales outsourcing or in-house playbook. Measure search by pipeline, not by channel vanity metrics. If your reporting stops at rankings, impressions, CTR, or even MQLs, you'll keep funding the wrong work. The goal isn't traffic, it's pipeline created and pipeline won, tied back to the query, landing page, and offer that started the journey. That's how you discover which high-volume terms are actually low value and which niche pages quietly produce your best opportunities. Build measurement around cost per opportunity and cost per closed one with clear attribution rules that both marketing and sales accept. For paid, that means tracking performance by match type, keyword theme, and landing page, then reallocating budget based on downstream conversion, not just front-end lead volume. For SEO, it means evaluating pages by pipeline, influenced, and assisted conversions. Because organic often introduces accounts early and shows up again later through retargeting or brand search. When you do this well, SEO and paid start strengthening each other. Paid reveals which angles convert now, SEO turns the winners into durable assets. Retargeting keeps your brand present, and your SDR team turns interest into conversations. That's why omnichannel programs can drive nearly 5x the ROI of single-channel efforts, because each channel does its job and hands off cleanly to the next. Turn search demand into booked meetings. A practical way to start is a 30 to 60 90-day plan. In the first 30 days, align on intent buckets, clean up paid targeting to focus on decision intent, and create a small set of intent-specific landing pages. In days 31 through 60, use paid as a testing engine for messaging and offers. Then, prioritize SEO content around the themes that produce opportunities, not just clicks. In days 61 through 90, connect the system to consistent follow-up. This is where we see many teams stall. They generate search interest, but no one works it with urgency and context, especially when buying committees require multiple touches. At SalesHive, we operate at that intersection, combining a disciplined SDR engine with the context from search so each inbound visit, form fill, and retargeting click can be worked into a meeting through structured calling and email sequences. If you want search to drive revenue, make the handoff non-negotiable. Every high-intent click should trigger a defined SDR response, and every SDR touch should reflect what the buyer already researched. Whether you're evaluating sales development agencies, exploring sales outsourcing, or building your own team, the winning model is the same. One search strategy, one pipeline scoreboard, and a follow-up motion that doesn't waste the demand you paid or worked to create.